All right. What's happening, everybody? What's going on? Oh, boy. Well, what is there to talk about? It's up to you. Ah, oh, boy. Chime in. What do we have? What's happening there? What's happening? Sometimes these names, I have no idea what your real name is. It's hard to decipher, but somebody call me Ralphie there. All right. Ralphie. Okay. Hey, no, the FAN caller. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I think I appreciate that. I'm not sure. Maybe I appreciate that. No, I do. I do. That's my good friend Pottersfield. Pottersfield, of course. All my friends in school, they're all named Pottersfield. I remember you. Yeah, yep, 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 yep. Oh man. When I make those videos, I say to myself, they get the most views. So I get a little greedy. So I use that WFAN, WABC, WOR kind of thing, the radio thing. I kind of use it a little bit too much. I like to talk about different things, not just that, but I find myself, really getting into it. So, but we could talk about anything, anything. Doesn't have to be sports, doesn't have to be anything. We can talk about whatever you want to talk about. You see this thing right here? It's a lozenge. When you have two of these things, it's called lozenges. You have two lozenges. I never knew that. Sounds like I have a bad Brooklyn accent. I got to get some lozenges, you know? Oh man, oh man. But lay it on me. Just ask a question of any kind. Ask a question of any kind so we can get this thing going. Um, so tell me, guys, are you satisfied with them? I'm going to tackle the morning show on FAN next. On that wonderful station, I will tackle the morning show next. Who is satisfied with the stupid morning show? Who is satisfied with the morning warm up that they give you? Who's that guy? Al Dukes, Jerry Recco. Jerry Recco, very nice guy, very competent guy, very good guy. I have nothing against Jerry Recco. All right, little smuck. Did you ever call that little schmuck? Oh, little. I don't know what that means. Little call that little schmuck. I, I don't know. Who's that now? Who's Russ now? I'm not. It's not hitting me. It says, who would make a toilet flush sound as he hangs up on you? Who's that? Russ Salzberg? Is that who you mean, Russ Salzberg? I actually talked to Russ Salzberg on the phone privately one time when I worked somewhere. I actually talked to him privately. He was a very, very nice guy. Yeah, I can go by what the way they treat me. I can't go by hearsay, how people are terribly treated. So I can't really go by that. I can go by the way he treated me. He treated me beautifully. So I have nothing against Russ Salzberg. Tell me somebody else, I'll give you some dirt. Okay, you're satisfied with the sweater and the smoozer. No, 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 no. I would call that show from time to time, not my cup of tea. The sweater and the smoozer, Russ would get bullied every single day. If you remember this, I'm sorry, not Russ, my mistake. Steve would get bullied every single day on that show. Russ would just run roughshod right over the guy, and Steve never stood a chance. If you remember, do you remember those days? I do. The stupid sweaters on that guy. Oh my God. Oh, and Joe Beningo in the morning on Saturday. I'm in a place right now, guys. I have to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm screaming. 4 o'clock in the morning to listen to Joe Beningo, and then I get to hear him for 2 hours with the commercials. I think it's 1 hour. Then I have to hear that Peter Schwartz. Is it Peter Schwartz? This cat, Peter Schwartz, comes on halfway through, and Joe takes 20 minutes with Peter Schwartz. Right?
Easy for the peas.
I'm popping my peas, my wife says. I'm going to be distorted here. No, it's really the truth. What about Al Dukes hates callers, but that's well known. This is a strange bird. I mean, Al Dukes is a strange bird. This guy's a little off his rocker. I'm a little off my rocker, but not that way. He's a little, I don't know what's up with that guy. I actually saw him one time, and he's the one guy that actually looks exactly like his voice. Have you met people that you think, the voice is deep, it's nice, and then you see him, he's a little schmuck? Al Dukes actually appears exactly like his voice. So that's one thing he's got going for him, I guess. But radio, it doesn't matter. Joe B, really? Hey, did he get screwed? Did he get screwed? Did my buddy Beningo get screwed? And by the way, his political views, get that. Who cares what he believes? I'm not in lockstep with Joe Beningo politically. I don't kiss Trump's rear end. That's not me. I've never been that way. I don't kiss anybody's rear end. I don't adore anybody. I don't have any icons. I just don't. But if I have the guy on my show, I'm going to let him speak. I may not agree. I don't have to say, Joe, I disagree with you. But what are you talking about? You can see it in my face sometimes when I don't agree. But Joe is a stand-up guy. He believes what he believes, and leave it at that. I had Richard Bay, who's pretty much the complete opposite belief-wise than Joe Beningo. I had Richard Bay a couple of days ago, the great Richard Bay, the TV icon, a couple of days ago, and he despises President Trump. So, we get the best of both worlds. We throw it around. Who gives a shit? We throw it around. Come on, man. I know this one is not FAM, but Dick Morris, that's yes. All right, my beautiful wife. I was going to say, somebody over here, honey, actually is thinking the same way you're thinking, but it was you. Dick Morris, WABC, Droopy Dog. That's my wife. Okay, we got it. Variety is yes, variety is. See, we're too polarized in this country. I mean, you go to Thanksgiving dinner. You're sitting at Thanksgiving dinner. You're trying to have a drumstick, and your uncle Sal is on Trump's side. Aunt Tilly's on the other side. I mean, come on, right? Dick Morris sounds like he's in. He's gonna come when he speaks.
No,
all right.
Oh,
in a coma.
my God.
Oh, in a coma. I can't see even with my glasses. I thought Chris said. That Dick Morris sounds like he's gonna ejaculate when he sleeps. I mean, when he speaks. I'm going. That's what happens when you don't take. That's what happens when you don't take a nap. You don't take a nap, for Christ's sakes. How are you, Ruben? What's going on there, good buddy? Chipmunk, Dick Morris, exactly. Alvin and the Chipmunks had more resonance in their voices than Dick Morris. I like the name Dick, though. I love the name Dick. It suits him very well. Dick. I love that. I love these guys who think they know everything, except for me. Holy moly. Oh, my goodness. My good. I got my lozenge. I need two. If you got more than one of these things, you got two lozenges. I used to think it was lozenger, but now I found out it's lozenge. All right. Maron, let's see. No, Russ was a difficult. See, the thing was with Russ, when somebody's that cantankerous, they're hiding a very, very insecure personality, if you know what I mean. When somebody wants to pick a fight all the time, they're hiding something. Look at this wayward hair I have here. Um, all right, another excellent broadcast. Charles McCord. And by the way, if I can get Sid Rosenberg on this station,
No.
on this channel, my wife would object. It's one guy that's tanner than I am. There's actually one guy, at least I have an excuse, I'm in Florida. One guy that's actually tanner than yours truly. That's our friend Sid Rosenberg. I would get Sid on this show in a heartbeat. I'd let my wife can't stand him. I'd let Cindy go out to the store or something, and then I'd invite Sid. All right. If anybody has any connection, because I don't know Sid. If anybody has any connection, I'm going to back up a little bit. If anybody has any connection to Rosenberg, let me know. We'll get him on the show. I'll grill him. I'll grill him. Um, Anthony, yeah, I'm not big on him. Anthony, what's his name again? Anthony, what's his name again? I can't remember his last name. Anthony from Opie and Anthony. Yeah, I think it's the wrong spelling. Um, Anthony from Opie and Anthony, the guy, he's on WABC Sunday nights. I don't care for him. Go check out his YouTube channel, and you'll see how he really feels. When he's on WABC, he has to hide behind Katsumatidis' skirt, so he has to kind of play a nice on WABC. But you'll see the true Anthony on his YouTube channel, by the way, incidentally. Napoleon complex. Yeah. And somebody said, it's not Romero, by the way. If I had a dime, if I had a dime for every time they mistake my name, Romeo, like Romeo and Juliet, for Romero, I'd be a rich man. And God knows I need it. If I had a dime for everybody, it's not Romero and Juliet, right? It's Romeo and Juliet. Nah, I'm not feeling well. I'm sorry. I know. Oh, okay. I know you're not feeling well, and so you are a snowbird. I'm not telling you where I am in Florida. It's bad enough you know I'm in the state of Florida. That's good enough. Um, Question: WABC Beacon of Freedom. Cum, Cumia, right? Cumia. I'm sorry. I know his name. Cumia. I keep doing a Q sound. It's Cumia. Cumia, what he really wants to say. So much for that. You're so right. You hit it. Who's that? Doc, you hit it on the head. Now, they call themselves a beacon of freedom on 77 WABC, correct? They say we let the hosts say what they want to say. We don't tell them or coerce them or try to influence them. Now I'm choking. Influence them in any way, shape, or form. But then again, when the guy gets on the airwaves, he's got to kind of quell all those wonderful feelings that you'll see on YouTube, how he really feels about the race issue, about ICE, about all these very controversial issues. He can't let it fly on WABC on terrestrial radio because on terrestrial radio, you got to watch your P's and Q's. Whereas now I can curse, I can say what I want to say, you can say what you want to say, although I don't do it too often, if you notice. I don't curse too often because it becomes meaningless. If I continuously fuck you and fuck that, and it becomes meaningless. So we don't want to do that. But every once in a while, an F bomb kind of lands beautifully. Wouldn't you agree? I asked because I'm thinking about moving to Florida to retire. Oh no, I know that. I know that. Don't take me the wrong way, Hirsch. Hirsch, that's my good buddy Hirsch. No, it's perfectly fine. No, I know that. Well, you know something? It has its pros and cons. And I'll be back in New York before you know it. I have a feeling Cindy and I will be back in New York before you know. But I actually, it has its pros and cons. Is the best I can say, Hirsch. Depending on the area that you're talking about. Well, let's put it this way: you're in the throes of a harsh winter. It was 70 degrees here yesterday. Enough said. Yeah, Joey is the best. Joe B. I don't call him Joe B. He acquired that name. eh, I don't know, very recently. This is not Joe B. Evan started to call him Joe B. I don't care for that name. This is Joe, but this is Beningo. Call him by his last name, or if you just say Joe, if you just say Joe from FAN, we know what you're talking about. The only one I like at ABC is Noam Laden. Noam Laden is an excellent, excellent. He's on my YouTube channel somewhere. You could find him. He actually came on my radio program, and he came on my YouTube channel. He was such a big he was very, very nice, but he was like an overgrown kid. He came on. He's bald as can be. He looks like kind of like an alien. Very nice guy. I went to do Frank Morano's show. If you remember Morano, I sat in with him for a couple of mornings on WABC down at the studio, and I got to meet Noam in person. I talked about when I had him on my program. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. In person, I'm 6 feet, a little over 6 feet. Noma's about here, like Mickey Rooney, but very nice guy. Beningo needs to get this. Well, you know what it is? I think something's happening with the phlegm with our friend Joe. I have no idea. It's a phlegm problem. I hope it's not serious. It says, let's finish setting up, honey. Okay, got this set up. Let's finish setting up, and this time works for you. I got to dismiss this. There's some little thing that popped up on the screen here, and I have no idea what. It says, I'll read it to you exactly. Let's finish up. If this time still works for you, select OK to get your setup.
Click dismiss.
I'll dismiss this like it doesn't even. It's out of here. It's seen better days.
It wants me to finish that.
Somebody said yesterday I was a Ted Danson lookalike. The guy's got 10 years on me, man. I'm 65. I think he's 75. Jody Mack, Anne Lagori. She's all right. She's a nice person. I'll leave it at that. I'm trying to be nice. I want to be nice. She's a very nice person. Um, little whiny, little California whiny on the air. Very nice person. Jody is fantastic. I think Jody stopped smoking too because Jody was a big smoker. I think Jody stopped. Jody got smart and stopped smoking. Good for you, Jody. That's the best I can say. Jody Mack should be somewhere. I know he does some kind of cockamamie side hustle or something. Every once in a while, he comes on with some crazy opinion about sports. I don't count that. Jody Mack should have a place on FAN. I mean, if Chris McMonagle can have a place on FAN, Jody Mack, even though he's 100 years old, should have a place on FAN. Do you agree? What happened to Bill Daughtry? Oh, the voice like silk. Oh my goodness, voice like silk. Bill Daughtry. He's to the left of Bernie Sanders, but our friend Daughtry, beautiful. Is he still around? Is he still above ground? I mean, is he pushing up daisies? Is Bill Daughtry still with us? I'm not sure. What else? What did I miss? What did I miss? Stern, did he sell his soul? Did he sell nose bin the air? Hollywood became a. Oh, you know something? I never listened to 1 minute of Howard Stern. I actually watched the TV program that he had on E Channel once or twice for some reason. I have never turned on the radio ever one time, take it for what it is, and listened to Howard Stern, not even once. Not my cup of tea, as I like to say.
That's why I married you.
And by the way, Cindy actually checked in to make sure I was not a Howard Stern fan before she said I do. My favorite voice. Eddie Coleman. Eddie Coleman, Pottersfield. Eddie Coleman, the best. What a nice guy. What a beautiful human being. Little gambling problem. Like, I don't know about gambling. No, I shouldn't say that. No, I'm getting confused. very beautiful, beautiful human being. When Eddie was at the helm on FAN and he fielded calls, you could take your time. You can get your thought out. You didn't have to rush like an idiot. It was a beautiful thing. It really was. Um, the man now has a lefty lunatic. Yeah, what rabbi is in my face? Thank you, sweetheart. My wife chiming in. I'm letting
Yeah, what?
I'm letting her off the hook today because she doesn't feel too well. She usually sits alongside me, but I'm actually reading these things pretty well with my glasses. Well, that's good. That's good. I'm still got to lean in with the stupid glasses. I have not I have astigmatism from when I was 7 years old. And tell me if you can help me out. Anybody, your expertise, please. I have astigmatism. They say I've had this since 1967. Okay, here we are in 2026. I got it right, 2026. Um, they can't really correct my stigmatism with corrective lenses. I have no idea why. They cannot. I can't. I still, even though I have glasses, I cannot see properly. Even when I'm driving, I can't drive correctly at night. I'm a little bit afraid. Any ophthalmologist out there that wants to treat me for free? Um, Ed and Howie Rose talked out of a window ledge at a bunch of Ed and Howie Rose talked me off the window ledge. Now tell me, Potter's Field, when the Mets get knocked off, do you go into a depression? Can I ask you that? How old are you, Potter's Field? How old are you? I'm 65. Do you think I get suicidal when these fat cat athletes lose a ball game? I don't give a shit about these guys. I like to talk about them. I like to have fun at their expense. You think I care really what the Mets do on a day to day basis? I don't. I just can't. I used to live and die maybe 45 years ago with the team. I don't give a shit what they do. I'm sorry. They can lose 162 next year and I'd be perfectly fine. To be honest with you, I like honesty. To be honest with you, that's how I feel. That's how I feel. Vision, here's a guy named Vision Quest that's making fun of Potter's Field. A guy named Vision Quest has the nerve, I'm kidding, to make fun of Potter's Field. Anyway, they said LASIK. Well, no, and LASIK, my wife is right. LASIK will not help me. I'd be a little afraid. I'm sure it'd be okay to get LASIK, but I'd be a little afraid to get LASIK. But they said that LASIK would not help me. I have no idea why. Um, Vision Quest. I'm on a vision quest. I'm off to my vision quest. Yes. No, I love you, buddy. I'm kidding. I need my eyes when they traded Seaver. Oh, okay. Me too. I didn't cry. I can't say I cried at 17 years old in 1977. I'm sorry. If you were 10 years old, then I'll give it to you. I was when Tom Seaver was dealt to Cincinnati for Steve Henderson and two others. Did that wonderful human being Jeff Kent? Did that wonderful humanitarian Jeff Kent come to the Mets in that trade? Was it Henderson? I can't remember. No, that's before Kent. What am I talking about? No, it was three other guys. Kent was after. I don't remember now. But when Seaver got dealt, oh no, it was for the other. It was for a pitcher, right? A pitcher. Some other pitcher past his prime, right? Anyway, when Seaver was dealt in '77, I said, "Hey, good riddance, good riddance, good riddance. What are we gonna do? Que sera, sera." I didn't even care that much because Seaver, as great as he was, and he was great, Seaver had a pair of legs on him, and he was always about using the lower body and when he released, he was way down here, way down here. He was a beautiful, picture perfect delivery. He was aloof. He wasn't a warm guy. He wasn't fan friendly. So, you know what this means in Italian? Kiss my ass. That's what that means. I didn't care. I didn't care that much because I didn't. I like Tommy. My guys from the 1969 Mets. Number one was Tommy Agee. Number two was Cleon Jones. Number three was a guy named Al Weiss. Number four was Buddy Harrelson. In no, not really no particular order, but my favorite players. Jerry Grody, tough as nails. Remember Grody? Oh my God. Grody, after a third strike, a third out, and a third strike, he'd roll the ball. Back in those days, they rolled the ball out to the mound after the third out. Grody would receive the ball. He'd roll the ball to the opposite end of the visitor's dugout so the pitcher would have to walk across, spend the energy to walk across to the other side of the mound. And that was Jerry Grody, the great Jerry Grody. Um, I'm not angry they let Pete go. I just play it up when I talk to Beningo. I'm not angry. Who cares where these guys go? Really? I mean, if you're over 10 years old and you give a shit where these guys go, there's something wrong.
Hey,
There's something wrong.
make sure you let them know that you don't watch football.
No, it's not, they're talking baseball.
I know, but somebody said, I thought you didn't like football.
Oh, okay. Somebody mentioned about the football thing. If Joe Beningo is going to come on my channel, he's going to talk football. So I'm going to pretend to like football a little bit when I talk to Joe. I don't care for football. I haven't watched a Super Bowl since the 80s. I think it's a brutal sport, barbaric sport. I kind of, when I knew I had to talk to Joe, I actually learned about a controversial play in the playoffs last week. So I can bring it up with Joe, to be honest with you. I have not watched a football game of any kind probably since 1992, if you want the truth. My team was the Minnesota Vikings with, well, Joe Cap, Dave Osborne, a guy named Alan Page, Carl Eller, and then later on Fran Tarkenton in the 70s, Gilliam and Paul Krause, Mick Tingelhoff. That was my team. Don't ask me why. I think when I was a kid, I kind of like the Viking helmet. I think the Vikings helmet, that thing, right? That Nordic thing was kind of cool. I like that. Tom Seaver would have won many. I remember those seeing. Oh, John Matlock. Oh, Matlack. John Matlack got hit in the face. Matlack delivered with his left hand, of course, and he got clocked like Herb Score right in the noggin. I do remember that. Yes, I do. Seaver, the Big Red Machine. You know our friend Elephant. The guy's a scholar. Elephant, you're brilliant. You're classy. You're brilliant. Do you ever write anything under 3 paragraphs? I'm kidding. Elephant. When I do one of my crackpot videos, Elephant leaves me a response.
Very philosophical.
He leaves me War and Peace. I'll make a simple video about the ups and downs of WFAN or whatever the hell I'm doing. Our friend Elephant leaves me a piece like that, but it's brilliant. I mean, it's a brilliant dissertation. It's brilliant. But man, oh man, doesn't your hand get tired? I know.
He said he's wired that way.
Doesn't your hand? I mean, see, I type like this because I am so tech challenged. I type like a goop. I'm a very bright guy, but I can't type. Kuzman. Hey, Jerry Koosman, underrated. The Mets, if you want to go to the top five of all time, you have to put Koosman in the top five New York Mets pitchers before he went to the Twins. Yes, I'm wired that way. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You're very truncated. You have to be more truncated. Elephant, truncated. Yeah, you get it. They moved Tom Seaver to instead of Kuzman playing in '73 World Series, right? They moved. This is Vision Quest. I have to answer Vision Quest because I made fun of him before. They moved Tom Seaver to instead of Kuzman went to jail for tax fraud. Did he? Could be wrong. Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. I think, but he went to left-handers. He went to Southpaw prison. They have a special prison if you're lefty because everything's on the left side. You go in there and you do everything with the left hand. I'm kidding. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Oh man, my father made a big mistake. My father, these are my favorite pens. These pens, these pens will change the world. My father made the biggest mistake in the world, not making me left-handed. The biggest mistake in the world. I throw right-handed. I hit I hit right-handed. Anyway, this big guy here behind the shaving cream is Deacon Jones.
I put this one. I actually put headphones on when he's typing.
Yeah, Cindy wires up when I type because I hit the keyboard so damn hard. There's something wrong with me. I have no touch.
It makes me cringe. I'm like,
I'm hitting the keyboard like it did something to me, and I'm paying it back. Yes. Do you think No, Franco is not a Hall of Famer. No, I like John Franco, kind of, not a Hall of Famer. Yeah, throw some people out, and I'll tell you whether they're in the Hall already or they're candidates. Throw some Hall of Famers or would-be Hall of Famers out to me, and I'll tell you whether I think they're Hall of Famers or not. As a kid, my friend ran to the father-in-law because of his father. Yeah, somebody's laughing his ass off. I never respond that way, by the way. When I want to respond on keyboard that I'm laughing, I put ha ha, ha ha. That's how low tech I am. Ha ha. I don't give you an LOL. I don't do that. I don't do it. Donnie Baseball. Okay, Mattingly, Hall of Famer. Hall of Famer. He's getting jobbed, keeping him out. Hall of Famer, hands down. He dominated baseball for 8 years, maybe 7 years, 8 years. I can't quite remember, but for a good block of time, Don Mattingly was the best hitter in baseball. Albert Bell, for a 10-year period, was the most feared hitter in baseball. Why is he not in the Hall? Why is he left out? Because he was a bad guy, supposedly. He's probably the best guy in the world, but supposedly he reads like he's a bad guy. So Albert Bell unceremoniously kept out of the Hall of Fame. They should call it the Hall of Shame. And Mattingly, Albert Bell, two of the glaring mistakes. The glaring mistakes. And somebody that I don't think Keith Hernandez is a Hall of Famer. If I had to choose who I wanted on my team in their prime, I would choose Mattingly. Mattingly was a better ball player. Keith was wonderful around first base. Keith was a great ball player. See, when you're great, you're not a Hall of Famer. You have to be upper echelon. This is me, a tough marker. You have to be upper echelon. You have to be better than great. You have to be Willie Mays. You have to be Hank Aaron. You have to be Roberto Clemente. You have to be, this guy that the Yankees have, Aaron Judge. I don't care for that much, but he's a Hall of Famer, hands down, when he retires. Even though he can't win the big game, but baseball is a funny animal, if you know what I mean. Very funny animal baseball is. You can't stick a guy in left field and expect him to bring you a World Series. Baseball doesn't work that way. It's not that type of sport. It's if you drop a pop fly glaringly and you make an error that everybody is going to kill you for, it's a different story. We understand that, but you can't expect one guy to bring you a pennant and then bring you a World Series. It doesn't work that way. In fact, the guy Soto on the other side of town, I don't care for him. Sorry, I can't stand his expression. I can't stand the way he's corporate. He plays it. He's an excellent ball player. Me personally, I can't warm up to the guy. Sorry, I can't. Um, Orsolak, that's a good one. Leave it to Vision Quest. Vision Quest is stumping me. He's just short. Just short. Vision Quest. Don't hold it against me. Vision Quest. Just short. Rusty Staub. Rusty Staub is definitely a Hall of Famer. Longevity, greatness. It's very difficult. He's not in the Hall. Am I correct? He's not in the Hall right now. I'm correct, I think. I don't think he was inducted, was he? Rusty Staub, I'm partial. I love the guy. La Grande Orange, Rusty Staub, I think is a Hall of Famer. I think is a Hall of Famer. Question. Stearns, John Stearns, former Mets catcher. Is that who you're talking about? John Stearns? No, I know. Tough guy. Tough guy. Stearns was very tough. Stearns' first move as president was firing Buck. I don't like Buck Showalter. I don't care for him. He's very concerned about the way the players wear their socks, about the way they tilt their cap, about the way. In fact, if I wore one T-shirt over the top of another T-shirt, like I'm doing right now for some strange reason, he'd banish me to the clubhouse. I don't care for Buck Showalter. I don't care for. I didn't feel like taking the other one off. I don't care for Buck Showalter. I love him and his ribs. I've never seen his ribs. Gil Hodges. You know something? Because he managed the Mets to a World Series, I said that Gil should be in the Hall, which he rightfully was put in. But Gil Hodges, as a player, I know it's going against the grain. I know I'm going to make enemies. If Gil Hodges didn't have the Mets managerial stint, and if he had not won the World Series in 1969 with a flourish, the impossible, I would have said, keep Gil out. I think Gil as a player, although it's before my time, but I know my baseball, I think Gil as a player was just short. This short. But because of his managerial prowess, I'm glad he made it. Dick Allen, Hall of Famer. Richie Allen, then Dick Allen. I like the Hall of Famer. Hall of Famer, hands down. Another guy, another rough guy on the media. Another guy who didn't talk to writers. Another guy who had a bad reputation. Let's see what these guys do on a baseball field. And keep the steroid guys out. Keep the steroid guys out. And by the way, when I come on sometimes with a tank shirt or a T-shirt, you idiots, some idiot out there that says I'm on steroids. Are you kidding? I'm 65 years old, man. You think I'm going on steroids now? This is just exercise. This is just good eating, good genetics, you goofball. Some guy said, no testosterone either. Not that I know I may be open to testosterone in the future, but not now. I don't take anything. I don't even take an aspirin. Right? That's the truth. I screamed through the whole video, for Christ's sake. Seriously, pay Buck professional manager and replace with rookie manager. I don't know what that means. Kingman, Dave Kingman. He had the reputation of being the biggest jerk in baseball. He had some kind of rift with a writer. I think, what did he do? Some female writer was in the clubhouse and he didn't care for it. Back in those days, the females couldn't go in there too. They would come out nude, purposely naked. The players would come out just to bust balls. They would come out if they knew a female writer was in there. Dave Kingman gave a female writer um, a box, a gift in a box, and I think she opened it up and it was a dead rat or something like that. That's our friend Dave Kingman. I would let that shit been through to someone on the stuff if you anyhow. Oh, I got it. I got it, honey. Someone on that stuff and never been on that again. What do you say? There's no way I let him take that. Oh, I got you. I got you. Okay. Remember when Keith Hernandez saw a woman in the Padre? She was a trainer. He said, "No, I don't remember that." And Keith is a very nice guy. Isn't very nice. When he used to come on with Richard Neer, I would turn the radio off. Though I hate two people on the air. I can't stand a tandem on the air. This medium was made for one person and a caller. I'm talking about FAN, ABC, talk radio in general. One person behind the microphone, that's it. When you hear five people chiming in with their stupidity, I turn the dial. When I hear two people, usually I can't stand a tandem. I don't care who, even Mike and the Mad Dog sometimes got on my nerves. I enjoyed it more when Dog did his Saturday morning show. I enjoyed it more when Mike, what a humanitarian he is. What a wonder. Isn't he wonderful? He's just such a sweet, joyous person. When Mike did his singular hosting thing, that it was better. It was. I like Dog on a Saturday. I never miss Dog Russo on a Saturday. Always listen to Russo on a Saturday. You know what I'm saying? Mets retired Willie Mays. Yeah, Willie's a giant. Willie's a giant. I played 2 years. He played 2 years. No, well, no, you gotta have chemistry. But my contention, I got you. Whatever you are, I can't read your thing there, but no, I got you. Um, I don't care how good the chemistry is between two guys. I don't want to hear two guys on the radio. I want to hear Bob Grant. I want to hear Jay Diamond. I want to hear Lynn Samuels. I want to hear, I don't know, Mark Malusis on the sports side. I want to hear Richard Neer. I don't want to hear a combination of both, or of all four, or whatever no. I want to hear one person. One person. Have you seen these morning shows? Forget sports for a second. Well, it's okay. Wait, any Jay Diamond fans out there? I know Jay's to the left of, who God knows who. Jay's a great. I talked to Jay Diamond yesterday for about 45 minutes outside in my car, trying to convince him to come on the air with me. I think he's going to acquiesce and come on my channel, the great Jay Diamond. Let me tell you, you want to talk about a guy with a command of the language? Do you want to talk about a guy who speaks the King's English? It's going to be a beautiful interview. Jay Diamond. But getting back, one person. Have you seen these morning shows? Have you seen them? Have you heard them? Not seen them, but sometimes you see them. Have you heard, in the true sense, the radio sense, have you heard these morning shows? When everybody, their brother, their cousin, whomever, chimes in, you have a conglomeration. You have five voices. You can't keep track who the hell's saying what. They're talking over each other. It's a mess. Marconi is rolling in his grave. It's a mess. It's a disaster. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Art Bell? No, not an Art Bell. I don't like that loony kazoonie stuff. I don't believe in any kind of extraterrestrials. You got the wrong guy. I don't believe in all this nonsense. I don't like Art Bell was a fantastic broadcaster, but not my cup of tea. Um, the Morning Zoo. There's your trouble. I mean, if you're calling a morning show, one second. God, one second. Wait a minute. Jeez, I got my underwear caught there. If you're I did. I got my underwear. I got my tidy whities caught. If you're if you're listening to something called the Morning Zoo, do I have to say anything more? I don't even know what the Morning Zoo is. I've heard of it, but overnight, Morano was best overnight. Frank's okay. Frank on a scale 1 to 10 scale. Frank Morano, who's a good guy, he invited me doing the show. I did his show a couple of times. How can I say anything bad about the guy? Honestly, as a radio broadcaster, because he's a little bit detached and a little bit of a stuffed shirt in a certain way, yet very good at other things, Frank Morano is a 6 as a talk show host, in my opinion. Give me a talk show host, give me a Hall of Famer, a potential Hall of Famer, give me a talk show host, I'll rate the talk show host. You think that Frank is a good interviewer? He's all right. I heard him with Shatner a few times. I heard him. He's all right. If I got Bill Shatner at 93 years old, I think he is, Bill Shatner, Captain Kirk, on my channel, then I know I hit the big time. By the way, on my channel, just to throw some people out outside of the sports world, I've had Rick D, I've had Donnie Most of Happy Days, I've had Mike Farrell, I've had Richard Bay, I've had Gary Puckett, I've had many of these people that I'm not thinking of right now. But go into the archives, Mike Farrell, BJ Honeycutt on MASH, Alan Alda, the whole crew there. Steve Malzberg. Steve Malzberg is a solid. Steve Malzberg is a solid 3. A solid 3 on a 1 to 10 scale. He's right there with a strong 3. Not a Malzberg fan. Joe B. Bob Foss. Not familiar. Tony Page. I'm an insomniac. And Tony Page was better than melatonin, better than a sledgehammer, better than a big time sleeping pill. Tony Page, let's put it this way, Tony Page can put me to sleep. But Tony Page grew on me, although I had some strange conversations with Tony Page that kind of rubbed me the wrong way a couple of times. I would call him from time to time. He used to be afraid to take my call because he thought I'd come out with something that would be embarrassing. But Tony Page, on a scale from 1 to 10, I give him a 5. I give him a 5. I'm a tough marker. I'm a tough marker. Yeah, Donnie Most is on the channel 4 times, 4 separate interviews. Donnie Most. Bob Grant. I don't give anybody a 10. Well, I give one person a 10. Bob Grant's a 9. Ciro Gigante, aka Bob Grant, a 9. Pee Wee Herman. Tony had great boxing. Tony knew his boxing. Tony knew his boxing big time. Yes, he did. He did. What was my? I don't remember. I don't remember what it was with Tony. I had a big fight with Kim Jones on the air once too. Kim Jones was with Malusis one time, and I had a big fight with her on the air one time. Kim Jones. I give Kim Jones a solid 4. One step above Malmsberg. I give King Jones a nice solid 4. I'm just telling you the truth. This is just one guy's opinion. I'm sorry. Bob Grant, number 10. Um, my riff, my guitar riff. Is that what you, oh, rift? Is that what you mean? Rift? Because I was going to give you a little rift, a little lick on the guitar, but okay. John Sterling, it is high, it is obnoxious, it is. Can I tell you a secret? I cannot stand the way John Sterling calls a game. When he was 60 years old and now he's 100 years old, I cannot stand the way he calls a game. They sometimes say, I'm in love with my voice. Do you want to see somebody who's in love with his voice? It is high. Ah! There's something wrong. He spazzes out. But you know, he's laughing to the bank. He's got a wonderful career. Just one guy's opinion. Just one guy's opinion. I mean, what you know? I'm telling you the truth. If you give me somebody like Grant, like see now, the talk show host, Ralph Kiner. Ralph Kiner is a Hall of Famer, which he is. Tim McCarver was a hell of a ball, not a Hall of Famer, but Tim McCarver. We know him as an announcer. Tim McCarver was a hell of a catcher. The only catcher that Carlton and Gibson wanted to throw to, if you remember. The two-host program works when it's constructive. The two-host program works well when it's constructive. Here's my friend Elephant with the dog did it back. Okay, he disagrees with me. He's so sophisticated. He's even more sophisticated than yours truly, and that's tough to do. Gary Cohen. Gary Cohen used to be good. Gary Cohen, when he broke in and he had a rift with Bob Murphy, they hated each other. Cohen and Murphy hated each other. Murphy was jealous of the new kid on the block, hated each other. Oh, despised each other. Cohen was good in the beginning. Now he's too big for his britches. He's a scale from 1 to 10 as I'd give Cohen a 7. I'd give Cohen a 7. Ralph Kiner. Oh yeah, the last try. McCarver hated. It is high. Oh, by the way, I would call John Sterling. I would call John Sterling on what the hell was that station again? For God's sakes, what's wrong with me? What the heck was that station down the dial? He did a sports show in 1977, maybe even 76. What was that station that WMCA? Thank you so much. Thank you, Elephant. Of course, when you don't know something, just go to my friend Elephant. Um, no, he was on the station, right? He was such a bastard to the callers. He treated the callers like absolute shit. He, I'll give you another fact. We were talking about Bob Grant. Did you know that when Grant, I think, was on that same station when he first came to New York, take a guess who his call screener was. Later to become a sitcom star on an epic sitcom of the 70s. Who was Bob Grant's call screener in New York in the early days, the early 70s, on that's right, Sydney knows, on WMCA? Who was it? You got it. Somebody came up with it. Jimmy Walker. Jimmy Walker. My good friend Chris knows it. Chris knows his radio, let me tell you. My buddy Chris knows radio inside and out, and he knows a good radio man, but he's a little opinionated. You get a little crazy there, Chris. No, you can say whatever you want. I'm kidding. I want you to be opinionated. That's what I want. I'm kidding. Sometimes the ferocity on my friend Chris. When he doesn't care for somebody, oh my goodness, my God. Paul O'Neill. I love Paul. You know something? A water cooler didn't stand a chance when O'Neill was in the dugout. A water cooler did not stand a chance in the dugout. Paul O'Neill is just short of the Hall of Fame, but an excellent ball player. An excellent ball player. Yep. He was one, and you know something about Paul? He did a good little gig on Seinfeld. He actually was very good on Seinfeld. Small scene. I think he's talking to who the heck was he talking to in the clubhouse? Oh, George. I think he was talking to George in the clubhouse. Very good scene there, Paul. Paul was great. Paul was a great Cincinnati Red and a great Yankee. Yes, he was. Um, the Sunday mornings, Channel 5, Bob McCall. Yes, Wonderama. Do you know I appeared? I appeared on Wonderama. No, yeah, Wonderama and Romper Room, 1965. Anybody remember Romper Room? My mother took me to New York. I actually was scared out of my wits. And she brought me to the set of Romper Room circa 1965. I think it was 5 years old. I think it was September of 65. I appeared on Romper Room. Also, Wonderama 2 years later in 1967 with somebody named Sonny Fox. Someone named Sonny Fox came before Bob McAllister, if you don't know, those trivia buffs out there. Sonny Fox came before Bob McAllister. Bob McAllister came later. On Romper Room, there was someone named Miss Louise. Miss Louise. And I was afraid. I didn't care for Jerome. Jerome in Manhattan had a conniption on the air. He went into a seizure on the air. He got me nervous on the air. I didn't find him funny. I didn't find him charming. I didn't find him endearing. I didn't care for Jerome. Nothing personal. But when he came on the radio as a caller, what did I do? I turned the radio off and I listened to Jethro Tull. That's what I did. Maybe I listened to the great Charlie Parker. That's what I did. Maybe I listened to the great Buddy Rich. Maybe I listened to the great Gene Krupa. That's what I did when Jerome came on the air. No, that's later. That drug show, Magic Garden, that excuse for a drug fest, Magic Garden. That was after I was too old at that point. I was born in 1960. I am 65 years old. I'm going on my 66th birthday. I'm okay. David Cohn, Hall of Famer. David Cohn was dominant. It's a disgrace, as our friend Joe would say, that David didn't find his way into the Hall of Fame. A disgrace, an abject disgrace. He's a Hall of Famer. How about Big Fat Chicks? I have no idea what that is. Did I listen to Big Fat Chicks? No. No Big Fat Chicks. Oh, I'm 62. I had to say my age, so somebody has to say their age. All right. I'm 65. I'm 62. Okay, but by the way, I would kill to be 62. When I was 62, I thought I was old. But now I'm 65, I would kill to be 62. But who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Okay, let's talk music. Let's talk music for a little bit. Let's talk music, okay? Let's stay in the eclectic progressive rock category of the 70s. Okay, I'll give you not always progressive. I guess maybe that's too narrow. Let's talk late 60s, 70s album rock. Okay, I'll throw out a few of my favorites. Cat Stevens, Van Morrison, the great Ian Anderson, Jethro Tull, the great John Anderson, yes, the great Genesis with Phil Collins. Well, I actually liked Genesis before Phil Collins actually started singing, but there's a few. The Beatles, I mean, the Beatles are perennials. I mean, you got to love the Beatles, but frankly, I don't listen to the Beatles anymore. I just don't. Um, my favorite Beatles song is it's a strange one. I'm only sleeping. I'm only sleeping. Great tune. If I can play that for you right now, I would. I would actually take it upon myself to play you that tune right now if I could. The Beatles were great. Don't tell me how great they were. I know they were great. When I was a kid, I had every 45, all the Beatles. Even when they hit their more psychedelic stage, I had everything. I had the albums, I had the records. As I got older, I was not a big Beatles fan. I was not a big Paul McCartney fan until he made an album called Flaming Pie. If you're familiar, Flaming Pie, the name, I didn't make it up. Flaming Pie in the late 90s. I really gravitated toward Paul's solo work. Good stuff. Tiny Tim was great, man. Tiptoe through those friggin' tulips. Tiptoe through the tulips in the garden. That's where I'll be. Let's tiptoe through the tulips with me. Yeah, he was great. He was great. He actually got married on the Ed Sullivan Show, not the Ed Sullivan Show. He got married on Sonny and Cher. Was Tiny Tim married on Sonny and Cher's show, or was he married on the Carson show? Was he well? He he was gay as can be, but he actually they had a fake marriage of some kind. Um, and he married a woman on some Carson, right? Yeah, somebody said Carson. Okay, Carson. Yeah, Carson, and a great talent. Did I say that? I mean, Tiny Tim is right there with Bach and Wagner. I mean, you got Wagner, you got Bach, you got Mozart, and you got Tiny Tim. Miss Vicky, bingo. Tiny Tim married Miss Vicky. Man, are we old? I mean, are we old or what? I remember that. I was a kid. Anybody remember the moon landing in '69? The moon landing when Neil Armstrong came up spontaneously, one step for man and all that. He had that planned. He had that written for him. Somebody wrote that script. Buzz Aldrin. Do you know that Buzz Aldrin is still around? He is. Buzz Aldrin is still. Miss somebody said that Miss Vicky was hot. Not how I remember it. I'm sorry. Was Miss Vicky? She was good looking. I don't remember it that way. They faked it. Okay. My wife feels the same way. They faked the moon landing. Okay. And Oswald did not shoot the president. Okay. And of course, James Earl Ray did not do Martin King in. Okay. 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 Fantasy. The fantasy land. The plane. Every time the plane passes, not you, baby. Not my baby.
Yeah.
Not my baby. Um,
Yeah.
oh, not my baby. No. When a plane passes, when I do these videos, inevitably, every time I do these videos outside, a plane comes by. How far away is that plane, sweetie? The airport, sweetie.
Probably about a half hour away.
Okay, a half hour away is an airport. And I go outside and make a video, and the plane passes immediately. I think of Fantasy Island. I think of the great Hervé Villechaize. Wasn't he fantastic? What an actor. What a wonderful actor he was. Oh, tremendous. Ricardo Montalban doesn't get better. He would say, ah, tattoo, tattoo. What is her fantasy tattoo? You must find out. You must find out her fantasy tattoo. Boss, boss, her fantasy. I cannot tell you her fantasy. She must tell you herself her fantasy. She cannot tell you. I loved Hervé. Hervé actually blew his brains out in his own house. He did. Yeah, I don't want to dwell on that, but he did. But he was going through terrible, terrible trauma, terrible physical trauma, terrible. Ah, terrible, terrible, terrible. What am I drinking? I don't drink. I've never taken a drink. I've never tasted alcohol ever once. I have never. I have Ellis. Is that Ellis? Jealous? Is that jealous? Somebody's actually named Jealous. I've never taken a drink. I've never tasted alcohol in my entire life. I've never smoked a cigarette, and I've never taken a drink. That's the truth. You can take it to the bank. All I drink is water, and I shouldn't drink out of these plastic bottles, but we have no choice at the moment. But so don't mind me. Cheers. I've played a few drunks. I've played some inebriated characters here and there, but I've never taken a drink. I'm a real lightweight. I've never smoked pot. I've never smoked anything. I'm afraid. You want to know the truth? I'm afraid. I'm afraid to alter my consciousness. I've never taken a drug, never smoked anything. I've never done anything. Nothing. My father was a big gambler. I'm not a gambler. Nothing. I don't have an addictive personality except for exercise, I guess. And good nutrition. Good, well rounded nutrition. Right? Well rounded nutrition. Whatever RFK says, I just go with it. Yeah, sure. What a loose cannon he is. Oh my goodness, RFK Jr. He's going to tell me how to eat. RFK Jr., former heroin addict, all kinds of messes. He's going to tell me how to take care of myself. Okay, buddy. Okay. Tell me another one. What did he do? He actually brought a bear. He brought a bear to Central Park. A dead carcass of a bear. He put it on a bike path, I think, in my former stomping grounds, Central Park. I used to be there every day. I didn't see the bear, unfortunately. I would have liked to see it. He actually brought a bear to Central Park and laid it down on. I don't get it. What was that about? It was an unbearable act. Very good. Very good. Next time I want to make a point, when I want to make a point, I'm going to get myself a bear carcass and dump it right on somebody's lawn. If one of these neighbors treat me shabbily out here in my brand new place, if one of these neighbors treat me shabbily, I'll throw a bear right on their front porch. And I'll say RFK did it. Are you with me? Are you with me?
That's why I thought the Seinfeld episode with a coat in the tree, and they go, "Oh my God, it's a bear." I thought it was relating to that.
Now I go off topic, right? I got to talk about sports. Unless I got to talk about sports. I got to talk about what's my political affiliation. I don't have one.
No.
I don't have one. I'm complete independent. Complete. I go issue by issue. I don't kiss anybody's tush. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I don't know what I am. I'm somewhere. I'm sensible. I know what I'm doing when it comes to every issue. Trust me. Yes, I'm not really. That's it. How do you turn them off at bedtime? I can't. I don't sleep.
he,
I don't sleep.
he does this in his sleep.
I should be sleeping 9 hours. You know what the doctor says? Those doctors, they're great. I mean, I can't. I'm doing it again. My underwear. My God. Oh, my. Um. Listen. Oh, what was I saying? Oh, the doctors. They're right. When back in the old days, back in the MAGA for life. Good for you. Good for you. Good for you. Hey, if you love Trump, you love Trump. If you love the other guy, you love everybody. I don't care who you love. I really don't care. I'll get everybody, anybody on this show of any political affiliation, even one of you guys, I don't care. Anybody of any political persuasion, if they're intelligent, articulate, we can have a good back and forth. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care if you're a Scientologist. Maybe I'll make an exception. What was I saying? Oh, you're supposed to sleep 9 hours, ideally 9 hours. Last night, as Marilyn McCoo said, I didn't get to sleep at all. I couldn't close my eyes. I slept a I I slept the total. I slept the total. A total. I slept a total of a half hour last night, probably. You know that deep REM sleep that you want, that you need, that you desire? I slept a total of about a half hour last night. And I did my usual workout this morning, my 2 workouts this morning, my 3 workouts, my 4, my 5 workouts. I work out a lot. I did my workout this morning and that was done. What's your thoughts on, you mean what are my thoughts, please? Correct that grammar. We need proper grammar here. What are my thoughts? Is that what you mean? What's your thoughts on the male cheerleaders in the NFL? Do you want to know the truth without offending anybody? I hope any male cheerleaders that happen to be tuning me in right now, please take a powder, go fix your skirt, and let me talk. Now, when you go to college sports and you see these brawny individuals, right, and they're holding up one of these women, and they're very acrobatic, very physical, very it's very masculine. I don't care about who's feminine, who's masculine. So I shouldn't frame it that way. It's a very athletic endeavor what they're doing while they're holding these women aloft, and it's a wonderful thing. It's fascinating to watch what they're doing. They're throwing the women around. The women are coming down on their head, fracturing their skull. It's a beautiful thing. No, I'm kidding. But now I didn't see this because I don't watch football. I think I saw it in basketball. Do they have male cheerleaders in basketball? Can somebody tell me if they have male cheerleaders? I'm very frightened. I'm not homophobic. I was in the theater for years, believe me. I Do they have male cheerleaders in the NBA and the NFL? Really? They don't wear skirts. I know that. It's not that bad, right? Do they really? I think you know how I feel. I don't need to go. Give me a minute. It's a male cheerleader. A kid mid. Male cheerleaders. Yeah, the male. It's not really. Can you call the male cheerleader in college an actual cheerleader? No, he's got. He's doing. He's doing. It's like a strength sport. I mean, these women. They used to be very skinny. Now these women are chunkier than ever. These women, right? So he's palming the woman with one hand, like Wilt Chamberlain, and he's lifting and lifting. I don't know how they do it. Anyway, I wouldn't be surprised.
All the male cheerleaders are little Trump grabbing the
Well, I tell you the dynamic in this house quickly, and then we'll get off the topic. I warmed up to Trump a little bit. I really couldn't handle President Trump in his first term. I warmed up to Trump a little bit.
Because of me.
My wife, let's see. If I were to go out to dinner with Donald Trump, my wife, myself, she'd never look at me even once. She'd be totally transfixed on the orange hair, orange face wonder there.
No.
She never. No, she loves me.
On Melania.
Oh, and Melania. All right. I don't want to make enemies. I like. They're great. They're great. That Melania, what a scholar. Oh, let me tell you. Let me tell you. She speaks 7 languages poorly. No,
How do you know?
I don't know. I'm sure. I'm sure she's. I'm sure she's brilliant. I'm sure she's brilliant. When she steps up to speak, I walk out of the room. I'm sorry. I can't take it. All right. All right. All right. Somebody said policies are good, but the mouth, oofa. Oofa, the manaja, oofa. I got you. Insane to think about. How many does Big Mike speak? I have no idea what you mean. The biggest gripe about Trump is that he makes a point and keeps going on and going on. Yes, he reiterates. He makes a pout. It's a typo. It's a typo. I'll give you a typo. I won't condone a grammatical. I won't condone a grammatical mistake, but I'll give you a typo. Now I forgot. Trump will reiterate a point until you can't take it anymore, and then he'll shove it down your throat one more time. What a guy. My favorite president of all time was Richard Nixon. Richard Nixon, your president is not a crook. I'm not a crook. All right. I got to go. I got to take off. It's been an hour and a half. No, hour and 17 minutes. At least you got something riveting to say. All right. Bert Sil. If you think we landed, okay. Look up some guy if you think we. Hey, listen. We landed on the moon.
In tinfoil.
We landed on that contraption was able to make its landing on the moon. Neil Armstrong walked on the moon in '69. Buzz Aldrin, who's still around to talk about it, he's 100 years old, walked on the moon. The other guy's dead. Neil Armstrong's dead. You can't talk to him. Can you imagine being Michael Collins? Michael Collins was the guy orbiting. He never got a chance.
Yeah, anyway. All around Universal Studios.
All right.
Sorry. Bust your bubble.
I guess when Vision Quest is saying goodbye, it's time for me to say goodbye. All right, this is going to be put up.
It's going to go up automatically.
It's going to go up automatically because I have no idea what I was going to say Facebook, what YouTube is. Okay, Ralph, whatever you say about the fake moon landing. You see how people are polar already. I can't immediately. Whoever liked me, if I just say one thing you disagree with, already I'm a jerk, right? I'm a jerk.
Look at what Carter says.
What? What did he say?
Look at what Carter says.
I know. I can't think.
Listen to Cynthia, Ralph.
And somebody said Trump's hair is surely something else. If you saw Trump's hair before they do, I noticed that he dyes it every 4th day. It's not permanent dye. It's got to be that washout dye. He's not quite as blonde as he once was, but he does go blonde on a Monday. By Thursday, you can see he's actually 80 years old, and he's got hair like mine. He only wishes he had hair like mine. And that's what he does. Then Friday, conveniently, he gets the sun in. Remember that stuff, sun in? He gets the blonde dye.
Iconic look.
He is so fabulous, let me tell you.
I got it.
What a
Whenever
looker.
you're ready.
What a looker. Anyway, all right. It was great. Thank you so much. Take it easy. Take it easy.
You ready?
Oh,
Bye, everyone.
by the way, tomorrow, sorry, honey. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about the morning show on WFAN. Tomorrow we'll talk about that wonderful, wonderful morning catastrophe they call a show on FAN. Then I'll have a good friend, good friend Teddy Smith, for an interview tomorrow afternoon, who's a wonderful guy. So we're gonna go back and forth. You'll see two videos tomorrow. I really appreciate it. Tomorrow, no, I usually Cindy she takes care of putting it up. She puts up about 11 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, yeah. Give me a time limit.
Well, somebody said what time? And the Teddy Smith interview, who's a radio DJ from way back when, very nice guy, good friend of mine at my former radio station, really nice guy. I have a little bit of a bone to pick with him. We'll do it on the air. Tomorrow, I may do it live right here, but I may not. And that if I do it live, it'll be at 4 o'clock Eastern. If it's on, if we record it, you won't see it until probably Tuesday. So, but I will have something for you tomorrow. And have yourself a good evening. I appreciate it.